Welcome to Kutch time. Today is October 27th, 2025, and the Detroit Pistons just lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers 116 to 95. After a strong start in the first quarter, the Pistons gave up an 11-0 run to end, and at that point, the game was over. The Pistons could never come back, having an absolutely abysmal second quarter. It took almost 7 whole minutes of game time for the Detroit Pistons to score a field goal. In that time, they had 2 free throws by Cade Cunningham, and that was it. This field goal happened at 5 minutes and 1 second left in the third quarter. It was almost 7 full minutes of no field goals, miss after miss after miss, and the Cavaliers took that, built out the lead, and it was over. The Pistons were demoralized. All the momentum, you couldn't get momentum back after that. They couldn't score. They're missing open shots. They're missing open layups. They're missing open threes. It's not even like the Cavaliers were playing this insane defense. They knew all of our plays. No, the Detroit Pistons just weren't good enough. They were missing open shots. They were missing open layups. Cade was missing open layups. Duncan Robinson was missing open threes. Everyone was forcing shots, just trying to see something fall in, and it couldn't work. And ultimately, what happened? The field goal was a layup. We made a layup to make it. It wasn't an actual shot attempt. It was a layup by Duncan Robinson to stop the bleeding. Even though we were already bled out at that point. But either way, there was one good thing. Ron Holland had an okay game today. He had 11 points, 2 for 3 from three, which is really good to see. His development of his 3-point shots, obviously a big key storyline of the season, storyline of his game, because he had a full off season with Fred Vinson, who is supposed to be this shooting guru almost. He helped Lonzo Ball fix his jump shot. Hopefully, Ron Holland can do that. Hopefully, he can take that good shooting into a good game when the rest of the players actually show up, because tonight no one helped him out. And even the energy on the court, he was the only guy to like truly show something. Like it was the third quarter, he made one of the threes. He pointed at the bench. He was pointing at them, laughing at them. You know, at the Pistons bench, not the Cavs bench. Can't talk trash to the Cavs bench because we were down by 30 points at that point. So he shows at least some energy, even though we were down so much. So that's a good sign. Ron Holland's always a dog. He's always intense, no matter the situation. But guys, everything was wrong with the Pistons today. The Pistons had 25 team turnovers today. Cade had 5. Duran had 4. There was multiple possessions where Duran was ball handling a full court situation. He was ball handling at the half court. I never want to see Jalen Duren, unless this is a wide open fast break, him dribbling the ball into any defender, because he's not a dribbler. He is a center. You're not expecting him to be a good dribbler. No center is a good dribbler. We see Wemby do it sometimes. We see Jokic do it sometimes. We've seen the memes of Yao Ming doing it on high the back. But Jalen Duren is not those kind of guys. He's a pretty classically built center. He's not a dribbler, and he shouldn't be dribbling half court. He wants to sometimes, but he shouldn't at all. I think JB Bickerstaff yelled at him after the first time he did it, and he did it again, and he got a turnover again. It was an annoying watch. It was a stupid watch. It was simple mistakes. They could have been fixed. There's no way it's a team to have 25 turnovers. That's insane. There was multiple games last year to start seeing we had 20 plus, but 25, and with the way we've seen the Pistons perform as of recent, at the end of last season, even the first couple of games, 25 is insane. We there needs to be better ball disciplines than to cause this, because this is a terrible watch for the fans. It was the first national game for us this season. National with asterisks was on Peacock, but the broadcast was actually a really nice watch. You had Austin Rivers and Robbie Homo on the sidelines of the bench, really hearing into the conversations. Austin Rivers dominated because he was on Cavs, and Robbie, unfortunately, was on Pistons. What are you going to cheer for the Pistons? We're not doing anything. And then you had Ian Eagle doing play-by-play, and he's always a great listen to. Pistons were 33 for 87 from the field today. Cade was 3 for 14. Isaiah Stewart was 1 for 9. Javonte Green 1 for 5. Duncan Robinson 3 for 8. Tobias Harris 2 for 8. I mean, it was just like, come on. You got to make something. Those are key scoring guys. Those are key minutes guys. Except Javante, I don't know why he's shooting five when he's only made one. But Tobias Harris is a starter. Duncan Robinson's a starter. Isaiah Stewart's basically the sixth man right now. If Karis LeVert out, and then Cade's obviously the superstar, and they're all well below 50%. They're well below even like even 35%. It's absolutely terrible, and you're not going to win like that. I mean, Cade, terrible game. One of his worst games in a very long time. He had 12 points. He was 3 for 14 from the field. He was 1 for 7 for three pointers. He had 5 turnovers to only 4 assists. I mean, you want the Cavaliers is is a division rival. You're gonna verse them a lot. They're the top of the East. They're expected to be the 1 to 2 seed, and you want to show up even if you don't win. You can't lose. We only lost by 21. That's fake. We should have lost by 30. The starters play. We lose by 30. The third stringers came in and we somehow beat them. Tulu Smith went off. Yada yada yada. Whatever. We lose by 21. Let's say we lose by 35. That's the real score. Lose by 35. We don't score 95. We score 80. That's how much the real score. 116 to 80. That's the real score that should be broadcasted. Not this fake 95. But Cade just he's been disappointing this season. I really hate to say it because he's the guy on the team. He's getting nationally broadcast. He's he was in these ads before the season, hyping up the season. He was in the NBC opening day night ad. Like, what do you remember about NBC? Like, I wasn't alive yet. He's 2024 or something. So it's like he's supposed to be the future of the NBA, one of the future guys that are going to be big pieces, big guys in the NBA, and he's been disappointed so far. I mean, he's had some great fourth quarters in the last 3 games, but today he didn't do anything. Even in the first quarter, which was our best quarter to start, I think he only had two, maybe 4 points. It wasn't him that was doing it. It was Duncan Robinson. It was Jalen Duren. Like those guys were the reason we had an early lead. And then Cade was kind of a reason we lost it because he couldn't get anything going. He was forcing shots up, and it's not like he wasn't getting his shots. I saw him miss 2 to 3 wide open 3 pointers. He missed. There was one time he was driving at the basket. He had a pretty easy layup, and he just misses it. I mean, these are shots that you have to see fall, and it's going to hurt him mentally. Got to be for the next couple of games because you see easy shots not falling for a star guy. I mean, you don't want him to affect them, but it's going to affect any player ever. I mean, a game like this, it shouldn't affect the team so much, but it was a terrible game. I mean, JB's gonna have to really get these guys together and figure something out, try to fix something, change something in the playbook. And a big reason the Pistons struggle so much is a lack of a bench scorer right now. I mean, Ivy's hurt, and he'd be a big part. I mean, he'd start, but he'd be a big part of the second unit. He'd usually be in first subs, and he'd be in second off when Kate comes off. So he's leading that backup point guard role basically. Um, you're not gonna have them. Karis LeVert's out right now, and Karis LeVert, obviously the biggest free agent signing we had over this offseason. He's out, and he's supposed to be a really big offensive scorer, offensive threat off that bench. So you don't really have one. I mean, your bench right now is looking like Danish Jenkins, Chaz Lanier, Ron Holland, Paul Reed, Isaiah Stewart. Like none of those guys really put a threat into Javante Green too. None of the guys are putting a threat into your offense. You don't have to worry about those. I mean, Ron Holland can go off every once in a while. Isaiah Stewart can have a couple of points. Paul Reed can have a couple of points. All these guys can have a couple of points here and there, but you're not worried about any of these bench guys getting like 15 plus a game, and that's a big problem. Like these Cavs are able to keep a couple starters in, and they're just going to destroy these benches that the Pistons put out because we can't. The 11-0 run, a big part of it was because the lineup was a Sar Thompson wasn't the main ball handler, Javante Green, Ron Holland, Tobias Harris, and Isaiah Stewart, and it was just out of those five, who's going to score? Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris was cold. Tobias Harris has kind of been cold. He had a decent night against the Celtics, but the other 2 games, he shot really badly. He's been poor, and he can't play defense that well. He never really has. It's never been something Tobias Harris has been known for. He obviously gives intensity, but he's an old man now. He's the uncle of the team. He's the main vet, and yeah, this lineup kind of worked against the Celtics a little bit, but that worked because the Celtics had such a poor big man rotation. The Cavaliers have Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. They're almost always on the court, and one of them is on the court at all times. So it's not like you can feed off that. You can't abuse that offensive hole, defensive hole for a team, and get defensive advantage, get offensive advantages. No, you have to play good ball with your bench, and we just can't with this lineup. This lineup isn't going to work in the NBA unless you're going against a bad team. The Cavs aren't a bad team. The Pistons have one of the harder schedules to start the season out, and today was a big proving point, and we just didn't show up. I mean, uh, teams are going to have blowouts like today. We had one early in the season last year against the Knicks. I think it might have been at home as well. Uh, but you just don't want to see it. The fans don't want to see it, and you could kind of write that off last season because we didn't have expectations at this point. Pistons have expectations. Tom Gores has talked about this is a new feeling for me as an owner. I've never had expectations for the team. I mean, his time as owner, we made the playoffs 3 times. An eighth seed in 2016, an eighth seed in 2019, and a sixth seed last year. So that was the highest seed he's ever had since owning the team, being in charge, giving all the money to the GM and the president, and saying, "All right, go get your guys." So the fans have expectations, the team has expectations, the ownership has expectations, and games like today, when you're on national TV, it's an embarrassment. It's not a good look. I mean, hopefully, next game's Wednesday against the Orlando Magic. It's also at home. That's going to be a big fight because Orlando Magic, going into the season, were projected to be a top 4 seed in the East, and they've really struggled so far offensively. So Pistons have a good defense, so you can even make them struggle more. That should be a really proven point, really bounce back game that you can definitely have. Uh, so hopefully they can win that. Karis LeVert, I believe, should be back then by then. Um, Today his listing now was injury management, so he should be back, and that'll be a big part of the bench. I don't really know if we plan to start him or Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson he was 2 for 4 today from three. He made his first two. He missed his next two. He's been really inconsistent on three. He's been forcing up 3-point shots, uh, which is really bad. Actually, it wasn't 2 for 4. He was 2 for 5. That's my apologies. He's been forcing up shots. He's been doing these weird like turnaround threes, fade threes over like two guys. He did that like twice today. I was like, "What are you doing, man? You can't be doing that. You don't have the trust by the team to do that." I don't ever want to see that. Uh, but yeah, even Asari even showed some nice offensive game today as well. He's been developing that like weird inside mid range area like fade turnaround. He used that a lot in his rookie year. He stepped away from him last year, but that's always a fun little shot to watch, and he's been dropping now. So hopefully, uh, Pistons can win Wednesday. Pistons have a good bounce back game, and hopefully Cade shows up because Cade desperately needs a good game. The fans desperately need this like not even a good game. They need an amazing game from Cade. I want to see a 30 bomb. I want to see a triple double. I want to see something that flashes the eyes from Cade to know this is still the superstar I know he can be. Thank you for watching. See you on Wednesday.